Imagine finding 6 figures worth of vintage baseball cards that were a century old in an old BandAid tin. One guy did. Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. Attic Find Friday. Here we are, my favorite day of the week. Attic Find Friday is now brought to you by Just Collect. Just Collect is led by Leighton Sheldon, one of the top buyers of vintage card collections in the country. You can fill out their appraisal form at justcollect.com. Link is in the description to this video, or you can email Leighton directly at leighton@justcollect.com for an offer. Straight into this today. This one is amazing. First of all, I'm shocked that I somehow missed this one because it came out in November of 2023. That's just 3 months ago. I've been searching like crazy for Attic Find Friday opportunities, and I didn't find this one. But Joe Wood Collector, brand new channel here on YouTube, posted a video of his purchase from this find. Go check out that. I'll give you a little bit more detail from it, but he does a great job with his video. And he's a brand new collector YouTuber, so gotta shout him out. I'll also put the link to his channel in my description. So these are the 1921 Herpolsheimers cards, which I gotta be honest, I had never heard of before, and there's good reason for that. These are similar to the E121 American Caramel set, which are much more plentiful than the Herpolsheimers. These ones feature ads on the back for Herpolsheimer's Grand Rapids retail store. Incidentally, Herpolsheimer's was nicknamed Herps, which seems to me like something you might nickname that pest of a kid on your college floor that nobody can stand. Hey, Herp! Hey, Herp! What's going on, Herp? Terrible. These ads on the back were specifically for Herpolsheimer's Department for Boys Fashion, which was on their second floor, and it's a very, very popular retail store, like a big department store. It's unclear how these cards were distributed. There's speculation that they were given out as a premium to young shoppers for buying things. There were 39 of them found in a BandAid tin at an estate sale in Michigan in 2019. The buyer could have stayed completely private, could have just put them in his collection, could have graded them and sold them, but he didn't really know a lot about them at the time. He had done some research and wanted to know more, so he posted on Net54 under the username Atari. This was in February of 2019. He asked people their opinions on the cards, and he posted pictures, and people were pretty blown away, as you might expect, because these are insanely rare. He said that they were owned by his uncle, who had picked them up at a estate find. The original owner had lived in Kent, Michigan, which was only a few miles from Grand Rapids, where the store was located. People were talking about how the cards were in the BandAid box for 90-ish plus years. Just a minor little detail here, user Riggs336 actually went to a website with the history of BandAid boxes and found that this BandAid tin or box style was used in the 1940s and 50s. So 80 years, 75 years in the same tin maybe, which is crazy. Just sitting there, 39 cards in this tin. That's pretty darn good protection for these cards. They didn't grade that well though, I'll tell you in a minute. So Al Crisafulli of Love of the Game Auctions saw the post, of course, and he reached out to Atari, and eventually 4+ years later, 4.5 years later, secured the consignment through Love of the Auction. So I'll tell you about what happened in the interim, but I want to talk first about the set. And the biggest card that was in this BandAid tin was the Babe Ruth, just the second known copy in existence. There's also a Tris Speaker, Grover Cleveland Alexander, Rabbit Marinville, many more obviously. 9 of these cards were previously unseen. The checklist had been around 70-ish cards. Now it's 78 or 79. The E121 American Caramel set has 80 cards, so I suspect that this one just matches that set and has 80 as well, and we're still missing 1 or 2 that have never been found before. Previously, only 1 card each was known in this set. They were then believed to be prototypes, obviously not so much anymore. The previously known ones were discovered in a series of eBay auctions in 2004. So they had gone about 83 years between 1921 and 2004 without ever having been discovered. Those ones from 2004 all had a $ and pencil markings on the back, a number marking them. These new ones, some of them had pencil markings on the back. All 39 were graded with PSA. Some of them came back with MK qualifier, which means mark, according to PSA. None of these graded higher than a 3. The Babe Ruth graded a 1.5. Love of the Game Auctions sold these individually at auction. The Ruth sold for $155,000. 8 others sold for more than $2,000, which is interesting. There's such a huge disparity between the Ruth at $155,000 and the other ones. I mean, even George Sisler sold for $3,700. Harry Hooper sold for $3,500. Those, I think, were the two next highest after the Ruth. And in the Net54 forum, somebody speculated back in 2019, and I think this turned out to be quite accurate, that the Ruth would sell for a lot and nothing else would sell for very much at all, because set collectors wouldn't want to buy these because there's only one of them and it would be almost impossible to ever collect the entire set. So it seemed to work out pretty well for that prognosticator. Now, there was another Babe Ruth Herpolsheimer, 1916, which would have been Ruth's rookie year, one of his rookie cards. 1916 Herpolsheimer's Ruth PSA 2 sold in 2021 via clean sweep auctions for $329,000. I'd love to know what that would go for today. There are 5 of those in the PSA Pop Report. Remember, there are only 2 of these 1921s. But of course, the 1916 is always going to sell for much more than a 1921 if the pop are relatively similar. Sadly, user Atari, the person who consigned these, his uncle, who owned these before when he first sent this message in 2019, his uncle passed away in 2020 from liver cancer. He was actually diagnosed with liver cancer stage 4 and died 20 days later. Very sad ending to this story. And then Atari had always intended, he and his uncle had always intended to sell them, but his uncle passing away threw a wrench in that because his estate was more complicated than expected. And he says that his uncle was a big collector, loved going to auctions, and would have loved following the auction of these cards. So, sad story for Atari's uncle. Joe Wood collector, by the way, I did find his, this is a Pop 2 card, and he is known as Joe Wood collector. So to be able to get a Pop 2 century-old card is pretty amazing. And he bought it for only $1,380. It's a lot of money. I've never paid that much for a card, but if let's say there was a 1921 Carl Yastrzemski card, I would spend $1,380 on that as a Carl Yastrzemski collector. So I totally get that. Go check out Joe Wood. Make sure you check out Just Collect. Links are in my description to this. I am going to the Fireside Inn Portland card show, Portland, Maine card show tomorrow, Sunday morning. I will also be putting out Clearing the Bases, so I have a busy morning tomorrow. And I have massive pickup that I'll put out a video maybe on Monday for. I proved myself wrong on a video from, I think, January or February. I did something, I said I'll never get this ever, and I ended up getting it. So I'm really excited about it, and I will roll that clip of me saying it if I can find it. And that's it. I'm still, by the way, don't forget, I'm working on a scoop where Golden Auctions is being sold by collectors to another big company. Now, Danny at Hobby News Daily has revealed that it is an online marketplace. I can confirm that. I cannot yet confirm what online marketplace is buying Golden. Once I have confirmed with 100% certainty, I hope to put that out there very, very soon. And that's all. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you have a great weekend.